I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But
Turning Point USA movement is just trying to bring us back to a generation that we fought so hard to overcome.
And the best part? As the backlash intensifies and the fallout becomes more obvious, Erika Kirk is clearly shaken. Formerly devoted supporters are publicly separating themselves, while reporters and critics probe her financial dealings, public behavior, and what she's allegedly been handling behind the scenes since Charlie's death. Turning Point USA appearances are attracting organized boycotts, and protests have turned her recent public appearances into flashpoints of controversy. The leaked audio, which showed her smiling and talking about merch sales and voter numbers during a memorial, only strengthened accusations that her priorities are transactional rather than principled, leading many to express out loud what they suspected, that this is more about revenue and image management than values or legacy. The current wave of unrest seems to have been sparked by the Make Heaven Crowded 2026 tour launch at Harvest Christian Church in Riverside, which was supposed to be a tribute to Charlie Kirk and a call for revival, but instead ended with about 100 protesters outside loudly denouncing ICE's problems. As fan defections increase and scrutiny increases, there are even rumors of possible IRS interest, which only adds more pressure. The family split due to the circumstances in Gaza and cited legal actions against Harvest Christian Fellowship and Pastor Greg Laurie due to allegations of abuse, transforming what appeared to be a solemn event into a divisive scene that has compelled supporters, detractors, and impartial observers to reconsider what will happen next. Watch this.
Her message is a singular message. It is the Christian right. It is supporting MAGA. It is the ridiculous pageantry of Charlie Kirk's death.
Erika Kirk rabbit hole never ends. She has now began her speaking tour called Make Heaven Crowded with Pastor Greg Laurie, who is head of the Harvest Christian Fellowship Church. And Greg Laurie got hit with serious allegations and lawsuits, allegedly, including claims from survivors. And guess where? Romania.
Yes, you read correctly. While Erika was inside talking passionately about faith, renewal, and spiritual urgency, a whole other story was taking place just outside, and the difference could not be ignored. Instead of calming tensions or acknowledging the reasons why people outside were upset, she stepped right into another controversy by publicly commenting on the anti-ICE protests and calling them demonic, a word choice that immediately escalated emotions. For many observers, the frustration went from simple disagreement to feeling dismissed, as if their concerns were being morally condemned rather than discussed. At that point, critics began to question not only her messaging, but also her priorities, wondering if gathering support and attracting crowds was more important than carefully selecting partnerships and making public statements. Since discussions regarding influence frequently returned to funding, that is when the focus shifted to money. In addition to dealing with her own sorrow since Charlie passed away in September 2025, Erika has been actively participating in fundraising tours, product launches, and sizable events that have brought in a sizable sum of money. In terms of finances, the figures are startling. According to reports, Erika and their 2 kids are supposed to get a life insurance payout of around $10 million. An additional $10 million was contributed by public donations. One well-known fundraiser associated with Tucker Carlson's brand alone is said to have raised over $5 million. Since she assumed leadership at Turning Point USA, where Charlie made just under $400,000 a year, many people assumed her pay was at least on level with Charlie's. Additionally, the couple sold their Scottsdale house for more than $5 million earlier in 2025, with about $2 million supposedly left over after expenses. Along with inheriting ownership holdings in for-profit companies like Resolute Media Group, which produces The Charlie Kirk Show, she also continues to get royalties from Charlie's many books and revenue related to his media endeavors. It should come as no surprise that the rapidity and magnitude of these financial changes stoked internet rumors about covert transfers, shell corporations, dubious meetings, and even purported modifications to Charlie's will. Investigations and fact checks, however, have so far found no evidence of a covert $350,000 transfer, verified that Will Change Stories came from manipulated videos and satire, and linked the alleged secret meeting rumors to false information spread by artificial intelligence, AI-generated content, and speculative loops. Legal compliance doesn't often allay public unease, even after such assertions have been refuted. Perception is still strong when people hear sums above $20 million, ongoing fundraising, and leaked conversations about products related to memorial ceremonies. When you compare all of Erika's charitable endeavors, such as the $1 million she received from the Charlie Kirk Legacy Fund to help a 13-year-old who was battling cancer, and her acceptance of Donald Trump's posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom for Charlie later that year, it becomes clear why there are still such strong reactions from all sides. Take a look at this.
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring my husband in such a profound and meaningful way, and thank you for making this event a priority amid the peace process in the Middle East. Thank you.
Yes, you read correctly. Trust had already begun to erode for many erstwhile supporters. People are naturally less inclined to give someone the benefit of the doubt when money, grief, politics, and power seem to intersect so quickly. This friction contributes to the persistence of boycott discussions and even rumors of an IRS probe. To be fair, the IRS discussion wasn't sudden. Rumors of potential TPUSA scrutiny had been circulating for a long time and were initially written off by some as normal online chit-chat. However, the very fact that those conversations were taking place drew attention, particularly in light of rumors that Charlie had previously requested an audit of the company's records. Because audits are typically linked to a need for clarification when something doesn't feel completely resolved, requests like that frequently lead to questions, not necessarily accusations. As a result, some fans saw the increased conjecture following his death as a continuation of the worries they thought he could have had. Then, just 2 weeks after Charlie's departure, a leaked audio recording was played. In it, Erika talks enthusiastically to her staff about the memorial's reach, voter registrations, retail activities, and packaging ideas. Some listeners thought the tone was surprisingly operational for such a melancholy occasion, giving the sense that the gathering served as both a strategic opportunity and a memorial. Whether accurate or not, that impression sparked a renewed interest in why Charlie's parents did not attend the memorial or speak out later, which led many to draw connections between the video itself, the audit talk, and finances. As a result, more and more supporters have retreated, and certain gatherings are apparently being boycotted. Not necessarily because conclusions have been validated, but rather because skepticism has grown. While some critics contend that the feeling doesn't seem as genuine, others advise exercising prudence and patience before making snap decisions. The larger issue being quietly discussed is now whether the organization can stabilize itself going ahead, rather than if it can survive one scandal. It becomes evident that once an audience begins to doubt sincerity, restoring confidence is no easy undertaking. Here you have it. What is your take on this matter? Subscribe to our channel for more updates.